This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather Ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for today, April 28th, is a Toronto Blue Jays icon. Not for what he did on the mound, but what he did behind the mic. One of the best color commentators in Blue Jays history. He was born April 20th, 1960 in Albany, New York. His name is John Cerutti. So anyway, John Cerutti was a decent pitcher. He was a left-hander that the Blue Jays really needed to do well because for a 5-year span, no Blue Jay starter who was a lefty ever won a game until Jimmy Key popped that up. So anyway, John Cerutti played collegiate summer baseball, was a league all-star, and went through Amherst College. The Blue Jays decided to take him in the 1981 amateur draft, 21st overall, which wasn't bad and all that. Cerutti would jump up through the ranks of Blue Jays pitching and would do quite well. He started off with the Blue Jays in the 1985 season that saw the Blue Jays win 99 games. Cerutti had some very good games and some very good seasons and all that. He was a dependable lefty, either a starter or a bullpen worker. He knew what he had to do to make things right with the Blue Jays organization. So anyway, Cerutti stats were good. In 1986, he went 9-4. He started 20 of 34 games. In 1987, he was 11-4, which was a pretty good winning percentage. He only started 21 games out of 44. Then dipped to 6-7 in 1988. 1989, he was a full-time starter in a sense, with 11 for the Blue Jays team that won the division. And in 1990, he was 9-9 with starting 23 games. So he could work out of the bullpen. He could work as a starter and all that. So with the Blue Jays, he went 46-37, which wasn't bad. And then he got free agency and left for the Tigers, the hated Tigers, if you will. Unfortunately for him, his Tigers year would be terrible at 3-6, and that would be the end of it. John Cerutti is actually big in Toronto lore because he's the guy who's got the first Blue Jays win at the Skydome, aka Rogers Center. The Blue Jays, I believe, lost the first two games against Milwaukee at the Dome, and then Cerutti was the one who got them the win on the third game. So he did pretty well for himself. So anyway, after his playing career had ended, he figured he would go into broadcasting. And he would be a color commentator on CBC alongside Brian Williams. And if you liked watching CBC for Blue Jays baseball, you knew that Williams and Cerutti were the soundtrack to Houston, all that. And he was very insightful too with his stuff and all that. Before long, Rogers Sportsnet would take over Blue Jay rights for many games. So Cerutti would move over to Sportsnet alongside Rob Foltz or Jamie Campbell. Unfortunately, his broadcasting career and life ended tragically. The final game of the season was October 3rd, 2004, Yankees Blue Jays. And no big deal, all that. The Yankees didn't have much to play for because they were in the playoffs and the Blue Jays weren't. He missed a pregame meeting, so the production staff began to worry and tried to call him at the hotel. Unfortunately, they couldn't reach him, so the police was brought in to break open the door to his Toronto hotel room. He was found without any vital signs. So he died at age 44 due to natural causes due to ventricular arrhythmia 2 weeks later. It was declared 2 weeks later being natural causes due to arrhythmia. Everyone was just shocked at how John Cerutti died so young and all that. So Toronto decided to pay tribute to Cerutti in 2004, giving him the annual Good Guy Award and renaming the honor for him. The Blue Jays give this award to a player every year who best exemplifies a positive image for baseball. And Cerutti was known for his character, goodwill, and sportsmanship. So Cerutti knew what to do in these situations and all that. Yeah, it was sad hearing, the soundtrack to many Blue Jay games in the late 90s, early 2000s for me growing up as a Blue Jay fan. And finding out that he died so young in 2004. He died just weeks after I moved to Kitchener. So that just makes it a little terrible and all that. That, 1 year you listen to his color commentating on CBC, and then the next year he ends up dead. It's like, I don't believe it. But yeah, John Cerutti was a great guy and a great commentator. You can take that to the bank. Anyhow, I'm Jeff Diamond Ado.